So this is going to be a review or how I use and why I bought the Sony RX100 Mark VII camera. Basically, I bought it because it's a awesome little pocket camera. I got it right here. And as you can see, this would be a great vlogging little camera, since the little thing goes 180 degrees up to like this and then like this. Thankfully, the little mic here goes on this side of the camera. You got all your three little ports here. I bought after I purchased this little camera, I bought the little LensMate adapter so I can hook up filters, which are right here. I bought the little LensMate Pro kit for I think it was $75 US, so about $102 Canadian at the time. I can see that my sound is peaking, so I do apologize about that. I'll fix that in post. It is expensive, the little camera. It was $1,600 Canadian, about $1,200 American. I also bought, I don't know if you can see it right here, it is very slippery. So I bought the, I bought the little grip for it. Should I buy the grips for all of these cameras, because I do have the 6 as well. The reason I bought the 7 and kept the 6 is for the audio jack. Which one is it? This is the 6 right here, sorry. And this is the 7. And it does have, where is it? Oh, right here. Yeah, as you can see, it's got the little audio port or mic port right there. And basically, you got an HDMI port here as well. And yeah, the middle port here, I bought the little Sony tripod for it, so I can do walk-arounds with the camera as well, and when I'm outside. Now, the lens on both of these cameras, sorry, everything's messed up on me here, 24-200, which is fantastic. It's a little freaking awesome walk-around camera. Don't have to carry around a DSLR, multiple lenses, battery grips, extra batteries. Actually, I have 4 little batteries that I use. They're little Sonys. I only buy the Sony the Sony batteries because I don't trust any other makers already off, like the off-brand stuff. Let's see. What else? I'm just looking at my iPad here because I made notes of stuff that I wanted to talk about. The photos and the video that come out of this is just amazing. I do a lot of shots I shoot for basically microstock agencies such as Shutterstock, Bond 5, and Storyblocks. So this is an awesome camera for that. It does shoot 1080p, and you can shoot up to what 980 frames per second in the high frame rate setting. You got all the little dials there. It's very usable. 120 frames to 480 frames per second. It is amazing. I've actually uploaded a lot of stuff to Shutterstock at 480 frames per second, and it's got accepted. I don't know if that's me or if it's Shutterstock or Pond5, but they seem to like the stuff that I do. There's no ND filters on these cameras on either one, and it's stopped on the 5. Because of both of these cameras use the 24-200 millimeter lens. I can just pop see, everything goes in here. Just pop it in, and then turns on. And it goes from 24 to 100. It's an awesome little camera. I'm very, very happy with both of these, the 6 and the 7. Now, it does shoot 4K. Both of these little cameras shoot 4K cameras, or whatever. This is my first video, so yeah, and I'm doing this off the cuff. They're very, very small, and they're both pretty much the same size. The 7 might be a millimeter or 2 thicker, but that's okay. As far as the filters go, they're all 52 millimeters. It's the UV filter, and then I got these little filter set. Yeah, $75 US, about $102 Canadian, depends on the exchange rate. Here's the little battery charger. It takes about an hour for the first charge for these little, yeah, there you go. Takes about an hour for the first charge, and then maybe 15-20 minutes depending on how much you've used. Let's see. Yeah, this little camera, I can just put it in my pocket. I can take it literally anywhere. I've taken it to an auto reflex game. Nobody bothered me. I just put it into my pocket, walked right by security, and see you later. But with DSLRs, like full frame DSLRs, Nikon, Canon, Sony's, you basically get stopped. With this, nobody noticed. Let's see. The pros, yeah, video and photos are amazing coming out of this camera. Color is 98-99% there. It's off just a little bit. You can notice some of the colors, like the greens and yeah, the blues, reds. They're 98-99% there. They're not as good as the Canon color science. I loved Canon for that. Let's see. On the 7 Mark 7, you just turn the. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see, is this the 7? This is the 7. Yeah, the menus on these things they're not that good. I like the Canon menus much better. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, the auto power off temp, I've set it to high. It's on standard or high. I have it on high. And I barely shoot 4K. I sometimes do. I did it on, was it Friday I went out? And I tried to do a video, but I bought the wrong mic for it. These ones, where's the mic? See if this one only has the two little rings. I bought my first one with the 3 rings, which didn't work, so I returned it. Bought this one with the 2 rings here on the little jack there, and it works amazing. I bought it off Amazon on Friday, got it on Saturday at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Like I said, this camera shoots up to 900 frames per second. I don't shoot at 980. It just doesn't look good. The cons of this camera, the price. In Canada, it's $1,599 before tax. After tax, it's about $1,806 here in Ontario, because we got our lovely 13% harmonized sales tax. The battery life, like I said, these are very, very small batteries. I've gone to Park Omega with the 6. I've shot all day from 10 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock when I left, and I used 2 batteries, and they were both completely gone. I wish Sony would make the camera bodies just a little bit better or bigger, just maybe 2-3 millimeters bigger. It would still fit into your pocket, right into the hand. Like, I don't have big hands, and this thing fits right in there. If the batteries were just a little bit bigger and would hold a better, longer charge, it'd be a lot better. The lens on this is an f2.8 to f4.5. As soon as you hit 26 millimeters, you're at f4. At 200 millimeters, you're at f4.5. There's no internal ND filter on this. I rarely use the internal ND filters on the 5. I started off with the Sony RX100 Mark II. I got the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7. I actually sold all my equipment. I was in Calgary for a couple of months back in 2017, and I was shooting on Canon EOS 6Ds. I had 3 bodies with 5 or 6 different lenses. I had the 16-35 f2.8, the 24-70 f2.8, and the 70-200 f2.8, along with the nifty 50 f1.8 version 2 and the 100mm macro f2.8, all Canons. And for a while I was even shooting with the Sigma 150 to 500. There was an f3.5 to f6.3, I think. Don't hold me to those numbers, but from what I remember, I think that was that, yeah. I'd be out every weekend shooting the mountains and carrying 3 lenses, 3 bodies, 3 battery packs, grips. It was heavy. The bag was heavy. I'd come home with back problems, my shoulders hurt. And then I bought at that time I was shooting with the Sony RX100 Mark II. I traded everything in for a Sony RX100 Mark II and the Sony RX100 Mark V. I came back a couple of months later. I'll show you here. There's a little pin. I don't know if you can, that holds the battery in. I was out doing astrophotography with the Sony RX100 Mark V. Battery died, of course, and I went to change the battery. The pin flew out. Luckily, I found it. It's still sitting in my bedroom. I haven't had a chance to fix it or get it fixed. And actually, the pop-up, this is another great thing. I'm glad that they fixed this. It's a one motion thing. You can just pop it up here, turns the camera on, turns the camera off. With the 5, you have to, actually it'll turn on the same way, but you have to push in this little part and then push it back down. And that's actually broken as well. So I'm glad that Sony actually fixed this. And yeah, that's another great reason why I bought this camera. And the lens goes from only f2.8 to f11. I wish it went up to like f16, f18, so at night you get the starbursts off. If you're doing night photography off the lights, you get the starbursts. Let's see. Sunny and bright days, you need the Hoya filters. Just because, you can't have an ND filter. I never used it, so it's not really plus or minus. I'd rather get the Hoya filters anyway. And another problem I have is the camera is very, very fine. It's very, very smooth. So it's very, very slippery. So another suggestion is to get the little battery grip. I bought the Sony one for $20. You can get different ones on Amazon, but this was available when I bought the camera out of Henry's here in Ottawa. And that's another. You spend a lot of money on accessories, basically. And that's why I put this, the lanyard, whatever you want to call it. See how it totally fits. It's very, very ergonomic. I love this. I love this camera. That's why I have 2 of them, because I still shoot on the 6. Because, sorry for the cough, Apple and Microsoft haven't released their RAW software, so you can't use the photos yet. So that's why I still use the Canon or the Sony RX100 Mark VI for most of my photography. If you go to, I'll post it below, my Shutterstock portfolio, all the latest fireworks that I have, all the shots, they were all taken with the Sony RX100 Mark VI. There's a little hole here. Plug that into the tripod, and on the side here you can buy another adapter, the intervalometer, and set that up works wonders. There, when I was shooting the fireworks, it is a 1-inch sensor, so it's not full frame or even the cropped sensor. It's a little bit smaller than a cropped. But I was worried about noise in the photos, but nothing. I was shooting f9, 24 millimeters, either 3.2 or 4-second exposures. Colors, fantastic. And the 7 here has an internal intervalometer, so you can, you know, set it, forget it, walk away. The only thing is, if you shoot 240 or more photos, it'll stop because it'll run out of battery. So that's another reason that the batteries are not that great. But yeah, there's sorry, I'm looking at notes on my iPad Pro, and emails. Just applied for a job. Hopefully I'll hear soon. These things are super fantastic. I've shot, well, basically Canons for, well, I started seriously doing this in probably 2008, and I started with the Canon EOS 350D, which is 8 megapixel, bought the battery grip, Canon stock lenses, which some were horrible. So then I upgraded to T1i, the T3i, then the Canon EOS 7D. I kept the CS7D for a couple of years, and then the 6D came out, which was the full frame, and I bought that, took it to Europe on a trip in 2013. Didn't make it to flight. The internals of the camera, just something happened, something hit the camera, and the mirrors and the prism fell. Luckily I had the warranty through Henry's. They got it fixed, but I lost the camera for a week on my trip, and then however long it took to replace. So I bought, over time, 2 more bodies, so I had a total of 3. Upgraded my lenses to all f2.8s, and yeah, in 2017 sold everything, bought the Sony RX100 Mark V and the Sony RX10 Mark II. Traded those in for the Sony RX100 Mark VI. I actually even sold my Canon Vixia HF G40 or G40 camcorder to get the Sony RX100 Mark VII, and I sold my Sony A7 II with the 24-240 lens to get this camera, because I really love these little cameras. You can go walk downtown, take all the pictures you want, and nobody's gonna bother you. But with the DSLR, you'll get people asking, what are you doing, what are you doing, what are you doing, what are you taking a picture of? With this, just click, turn it off, put it into your pocket, walk away. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about.